Now, a phone line is being set up in Sweden to help women report their male colleagues for mansplaining. Well, so what is it? Well, in the words of the Oxford Dictionary, when a man explains something, usually in a condescending or patronising manner, a bit like what I'm doing now, but to a woman. The union behind the phone line says mansplaining is a growing problem in the modern workplace. So do women actually need protection, or is this a sign of political correctness going too far? Well, just joining me to discuss, Peter Lloyd, the author of Stand By Your Manhood, a game changer for modern men, and the broadcaster Rosie Millard. Good to see you both. Rosie, don't women really need to just toughen up? And if somebody is being patronising, say, sorry, you're being patronising, please stop. We don't need a helpline, do we?
Well, I think mansplaining is a bit like manspreading, that other awful word. Except if you can imagine, rather than their legs being apart, it's their kind of like can-do sensibility encroaching into women's areas. And this does happen. I mean, mostly it happens to me when I'm driving, when men who I don't even know stop and say, help me how to get into a corner or to park my car. Or indeed, when I'm driving somewhere I know very well, my husband decides to tell me where to go. You know, go left, I go right. When I'm driving to my parents' house, for example,
and women are just as guilty of doing that as men. I do it all the time.
I think that it does undermine. I think women can be undermined in the workplace, in the office, and I think if there's a helpline to allow them to vent a bit of steam, or just to find out that there are other women who also feel anxious because their words aren't being taken as authority, that they always need to defer to someone else. I think it's quite helpful to find that you're not alone in feeling deeply frustrated about it.
There you go, Peter Lloyd. It's helpful because women won't feel so alone. You're rolling your eyes. That's a very feminine thing to do, if I can say so.
I'm so sorry. I can't help it. I mean, how patronising to women. It's almost unbelievable. It's almost, ironic. Although that said, I actually welcome this helpline because it is firm proof of how divisive and vindictive feminism has become. Now, if this came from any other nation, I would assume that maybe the sisterhood has developed a long overdue sense of humour and this is all just a bit tongue-in-cheek. But of course, it just confirms that Sweden has absolutely lost the plot on the gender debate, and there should be a warning shot to every other country and everyone else in the world. Do not let the gender bullies dictate the narrative. It's embarrassing.
There you go, Rosie. Do you feel like a gender bully?
No, I think also that, Peter, it is all very funny, but actually, if we're talking about a narrative, let's just have a look at the heads of state of the European Union. Let us see how many people there are actually female. Let us look at the heads of boards, of members of boards, of trustees on boards. There are so few in Britain that we now actually have a group, a device, an institution designed to get more women onto boards, because it is so, we have less female MPs than they do in Afghanistan. It really is, and he may laugh it off and say, oh, this is gender balance gone mad. But actually, mate, it's not balanced in the first place. It's not balanced, and one of the reasons why it's not balanced...
Isn't that a sexy... Aren't you woman-splaining by calling me mate? I'm just going back to your previous point.
It's because women feel undermined in the office.
Going back to your point about the electorate, women are the largest electorate in the country. If they wanted the government to be full of female MPs, they could vote them in. There isn't a secret plan to keep women out. And moreover, we're talking here about a union that members subscribe and pay for to be members of. They should be representing all of their members equally. They shouldn't be having this gender bias and being rude and saying words like mansplaining. That's absolutely atrocious. I advise, if there are any Swedish men watching this programme, I advise them, cancel your membership to this union and hit them where it hurts.
I mean, Rosie, isn't another point that this is, if there are women out there who are so troubled by this kind of behaviour that they feel the need to take a helpline, don't they really need to look at, as you say, the real gender imbalances in the world, perhaps the imbalances at the top of the FTSE 100 companies? There are places where women need to be better represented, and surely anybody who wants to fight for female equality could perhaps direct their attentions and their energies a little more fruitfully than just worried about women being talked down to a little bit at work.
I think there are more men men called John than there are women as board members in the FTSE 100. But I think that we have to look all around us, and I think that men wailing on about feminism gone mad and sexism and stuff just shows their anxiety. You know, men have had it. Men have had it purely in charge for a very, very long time, and now they're actually having some sort of threat to their position, and they are squealing. And this is a great example of it.
Peter Lloyd, isn't there some credence to the fact that this is a subtle way of men trying to control the space in the room a little bit? You know, Rosie talked about manspreading. I mean, often in meetings, I've seen it, not literally, but metaphorically willy-waving going on. Men trying to dominate the airspace, talking over women. And this is the thin end of the wedge for a lot of women. They see this behaviour happening around them in the workplace, and then they look at the bigger picture, they look at how women are represented, and they say, this is fundamentally how it all starts.
Well, you know, I think probably women do still face some issues in the workplace, but I think they're putting 2 and 2 together and getting 6. And let's not forget, there are much more serious issues that face men in the workplace that aren't being addressed. I mean, if you look at the rates of workplace fatalities in Sweden, 9 out of 10 of them were male. Why is the union not addressing this and not some wacky esoteric theory about, you know, men sitting with their legs apart, PS, because of their anatomy, that it's more comfortable to do that, you know, as some kind of oppressive force over women? We really need to get our priorities in order here. I'm not dismissing the concerns of women. I'm not saying that women sort of sometimes suffer hurdles in the workplace, but let's please, no, I'm not, but let's please get our priorities in order. I am sick of having to listen to this, you know, back to front perspective on the real issues in the world. You know, we've just seen a presidential election run for 2 years, and not at one point did we hear any of them, either of the candidates, address the various men's issues that are promulgating the country and the world.
Rosie, isn't this a way of women really encouraging women to be victims rather than encouraging them to stand up for themselves?
I understand that, but I don't think so, because I don't know, because I haven't been on the helpline, and I don't know what sort of advice people are giving. But I think that actually, if it's advice to be more confident and to operate better in the workspace and the workplace, then I think it's very valid. I am chair of a very big board. I'm chair of the Hull City of Culture, and I've never chaired a board before. This is an enormous multi-million-pound amazing event which is going to happen in Hull next year. And I was pretty nervous starting out chairing, being in charge of you know, quite a formidable group of trustees. And I went on a course run by the Institute of Directors, a course for chairs, and about half of the people on the course are women and half are men. But a lot of it was about how to run a board effectively and how to chair it fairly and well. And I think that if women, because women are underrepresented in this area, I think if women are given help, be it by courses like I did,
Rosie,
or by helplines, it's a good thing.
Okay, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we have to end it there because we're running out of time. Rosie Millard, Peter Lloyd, thank you both very much. Great to talk to you both.